Javier Milei definitely ran on attacking socialism at the highest level. And he wasn't 100% wrong about the observations that he had about the Pope. He was, it's just the way he went about it. It's not what he said, is how he said it. You know what I mean? And in some cases, because when he was accusing, the Pope of having friendly socialistic or socialism, an approach to socialism that obviously, anything from, that's not just the economy, it's just the fact that he's obviously clearly friendlier to people that lean in that direction. The whole idea that capitalism is bad and that money is the root of all evils has always played out. I don't know what anybody was actually expecting. I think you asked the question, did he slap him or did
he slap
but I don't know who was slapping whom, you know what I mean?
I don't know.
But a lot of people were, expecting a very hostile meeting. And that wasn't the case, because here you have two people that understand now, first of all, it's not just the guy running, he's the president of the country. They are going to be playing a high role. Milei had the opportunity to lay out, here is what I'm going to intend to do. He claimed, right, but there's no way to verify that, he claimed that the Pope was actually pleased about what he was intending to do with his program.
Yeah.
But we got to see what happened with that. Any opinions on this, guys?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I just hope that he called him out, and I don't know. It's like, for me, spoken to the Pope.
Who called who out?
Milei called the
Milei
Pope
called
out.
the
What
Pope.
the heck is
Calling
he?
out the Pope.
But you have to
Yeah.
understand, though,
What-
yes, it's a delicate situation. You
Correct.
have somebody who is essentially, it's not that everybody's going to follow what he says, but a lot of people take the position of the Pope very, very seriously, to the extent that there's a lot of perspectives today that are deeply influenced by.
So this guy cannot be challenged.
It's not a question of being challenged. It's just, again, how do you go about it, right? And it's like, so it's not a question of, the best thing that he expressed was, I was able to lay it out what my plan and program was going to be, and the Pope was pleased about it, because I think that, listen, you're talking about somebody that grew up under, again, you're talking about Che Guevara days, you're talking about Fidel Castro, you're talking about liberation theology, you're talking about Gustavo Gutierrez, you're talking about people that literally, during the time that this man was a young man, as a priest, becoming a bishop, becoming you're influenced by it.
Yeah.
And then you see, also part of his work was to go to places where you see extreme poverty.
Yeah.
As you move through the ranks, right?
Yeah.
As you become a bishop, as you become a cardinal.
Yeah.
Now you're also dealing with politics, you're dealing also with people, with companies, right? With wealth.
Yes.
Right? So now you really reminded of the contrast, right, between extreme poverty and people, and obviously it's very easy to accuse the people that has too much money. Listen, the Super Bowl Biden intervention was just to remind you that all the bad companies that are putting very little chips on your bag now when you buy it, or that what used to be 12 ounces maybe is only like 8.5, it's not even 8-9 ounces. You got to measure that in your can. Whatever this crazy man was saying, opposed to saying the economy is not working, socialism has never produced anything other than poverty, no matter where it goes. But this is an important conversation, because I mean, and you know what? There are two countrymen. It's also not good for Argentina to see the president and the Pope, two people that are born in the same place, going at it back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, I don't want to say too much about it, but I think a lot of times people just got to remember that for the Pope specifically, right? He's playing a certain position as far as he's leading like a whole movement, right? But then at the same time, he also knows how influential what he says is going to be to everyone else. And then also, I'm also thinking about this as well. So if I ever get a chance to meet the Pope, right? That's a big deal no matter what, right? Regardless of whether I'm Catholic, not Catholic. No, I want that to be a good impression. Yeah. So if I'm the president, 100%, I'm thinking the same thing. So even if I don't agree with everything that you're doing or saying, it will be bad for business or my country for me to go too far off. Correct.
Yeah, but it's not just that though. It's not just that. It's just that not doing that and not try to find a way to. It's also ignoring the many good things the Catholic Church has done for every country in Latin America. You know what I mean? Again, before there was institutionalized governments that were capable to deal with infrastructure, building roads, schools, hospitals, all of that was the Catholic Church that was essentially almost providing the infrastructure. There's countries that you can go to right now and you're going to see that whole colonial era they just describe as colonial era. That goes back to I'm talking about today as the equivalent of trillions of dollars that have gone into. But I think that more than anything else, here's what I will tell you.
That wasn't this Pope.
But it has been through the
church, I agree.
The guidance of every single one of the popes that has been in existence. And there is a leniency, and it comes from the Gospels. You know what I mean? You lean towards anything that will be more sympathetic, helpful, and good for the poor. Right? That's essentially. The problem is that when you villainize the people that are actually helping the poor, when you forget that money has to come from somewhere. In the Catholic Church, they say that the original Robin Hood was Saint Vincent of Paul, and that's what he will do. You were the wealthy guy, you know what I mean, and Lorena was running this project where there was like 1,000 children that were like not even able to eat anything. And he will come to you and will tell you how it will be such a phenomenal idea and how many blessings you will actually get just by being the person who is going to become the patron donor who is going to help this project. And he will come in and donate lands and build facilities and provide. So that is the responsibility is supposed to be, how about we bridge from where they have to where they need it. You know what I mean? And that's sometimes what you don't get to see. What you get to see is a lot of people pointing fingers. And unfortunately, this Pope, has been not necessarily clear on his messages on just about anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that leaves a lot of room for
confusion,
mixed messages, chaos, and errors, and so extremely helpful that there are people that will take the time to say, this is how it works. This will be the benefit if we can successfully run this. And I hope, because he was planning to, he's getting older, you know what I mean? Soon he's facing the reality of potentially dying. He hasn't gone back to Argentina as a pope. Remember, he left Argentina as a cardinal, got elected. He hasn't got back, so he was planning to make that trip this year. So you want to make sure that by the time that happens, there is the best possible relationships. That would be good for the country, will be good for everybody. He's ahead of, 1.2 billion Catholics. That's a lot of people, you know what I mean? And so it's super, whatever he says carries a lot of weight, whether we agree or disagree with it.